let us continue with adventure. And yeah, you are for now. Don't roll anything. You are just still trying to go stealthy using the cover of the forest near the road. And the area, basically, the thing is that the area is becoming like going higher. So even if you are like slightly closer to the city, you are still not seeing it fully because you're not seeing fully. And the thing is that while you are going, finally, you are at the point when. Wait, how the fuck does like in the movies, like you go through the hill and that's the moment when you can see the other side, usually accompanied by something by something like oh fuck. Because when you are like somewhere here, I need to check how far it is. Yeah, so when you are like somewhere here, you at elevation or something like that, so you can finally see the besieged city of Marton.
Yeah.
There are no siege engines. You can see like maybe 10 to 15 hill giants bashing on the walls on the city. There are some screams and orders, war cries coming from that direction. But also not and also like around them there are like several orcs like moving around and trying to find a way to get in, although they are not much of a help.
How many orcs exactly, or are there too many to count?
Well, that's that's the battle. You are not that close. They are like moving, so it's hard to count. So yeah, you might say several dozen. You cannot discern the exact number, but besides that 10 to 15 hill, yeah, no, 13, because the hill giants are like big, so you can like count them.
Mm-hmm.
So there are like 13 hill giants bashing on the walls on the city, but there are also 4 of them who are like fought well, as you're looking at them, they maybe thought, well, fuck it, we won't wait until this city is down, we will find another victims. So they were starting to move like in general direction to Marin's Eve, and now you can roll for stealth.
Yay!
Yay! This won't go horribly.
Well, how far are they away from us? Because I highly doubt that we are just standing there until they can see us.
Oh wait, I didn't mean to do that. Let me reroll that one.
Yeah, of course, I'm assuming that well, you are not standing in the open area, and that seeing them and seeing that they move like
I got a 7 in stealth.
I got a 28. They don't see shit.
They might move in your general area. You might try to hide, but they maybe they are hill giants, but they are not that stupid to not look around for some kind of like beings who they might try to kill.
Yeah, but we are also not stupid enough that we are just standing like, oh, let's just wait until they see us.
Of course, but
looking at my stealth check, I may beg to differ.
Okay, you rolled for stealth, and they have a chance to roll for perception because you try to hide, and they still have a chance to see you.
Please let them not see.
And because there are 4 of them, I think that's fair to say that each and every one of them
gets a perception check. Yeah.
And wait, because they are not advanced monsters, so they only have okay, they only have +6 to perception. Okay, one rolled 18, second 17, 10, 24.
Yay, I'm invisible to them.
Okay, so the thing is that while you were in the process of hiding, or you were hiding and thought that you were like stealthy, you can hear...
just missing the point and standing out in the open.
If you wanna... Yeah, hey, I'm a badass motherfucker cavalier. Come at me, bitches.
Yeah, but why is no one behind me?
About that.
Hey,
let-
Zeros, have fun. Bye.
about that.
Meow.
Wait, guys. Let me say it because right now we will go full rule of cool. I'll just say that. So
Okay.
let me say that what happens is we need proper music for this.
Benny Hill music or something.
Not exactly. But yeah, the 4 giants accompanied by, I don't know, 10, 12, 20 orcs. The
Yes.
giant sees you. Orcs they are stupid and mooks so low that yeah, they don't have a chance to see you. No
They
fucking
see
way.
me though.
Yeah, so the giant see you, they like point, one of them points his great club at you, let's just say, because you said you are fucking standing there.
Hmm?
So he points club at you, he lets a roar, a battle cry, and you can also see like after he did that, like 2 or 3 more hill giants from bashing the walls of the city, like stop doing this, and they turned to you, and they also start like rushing. But when you think, because well, you're a badass motherfucker, but you feel that it might be a little bit too much even for you.
Yes, indeed.
So while you were thinking of turning around your horse, suddenly you hear another sound coming from behind of you. You hear something like a war horn, and like almost immediately with that, it's like a like you are hearing a lot of horses coming behind. So basically, what happens? You turn around, and after few seconds, you are not the only one on the horse who's standing in front of the enemies. You're surrounded by friendly forces from Pinewood. Yeah, you basically you know there are like humans.
Yeah,
so
Pinewood Militia.
no, they are not only Pinewood militia. They are bearing many insignias. Like some of them might seem like a militia, but some like look like a proper soldiers, who like first line of them, you do not order them, but they immediately form a line with you, and they immediately point their lances at the charging giants.
Okay, so what? As I see the huge amount, the other lancers who are coming.
Basically,
towards
reinforcements
us.
are coming.
Yeah. So basically, what I want to do, at this point, I'm fairly optimistic about this battle. So I just go up to Altiras and I say, "Hey, mind if I take a ride with you? Jump off on one of those hill giants and just go straight up insane there."
Recreate Lord of the Rings.
Just remember about that. Well, you know, this is starting to become like battle situations. So saying
Yeah.
a lot of things, you know.
Yeah, no,
time
this
time
is
passing.
just something as I'm like standing next to him and standing ready with my weaponry, just ready to
okay.
charge in.
Yeah. So what's your quick response, Otiros?
Huh? Well, what did you say? Exactly what was I supposed to respond to?
I asked Sotiros,
I
"Do
thought you
mind
were
if I
asking
just
some
jump,
random.
jump, get a ride from you and jump off?"
Yes, of course. I thought you were asking some random mook. Me.
No, I just step on the horse and I kind of just get ready to jump off at any moment.
Sure.
You know the quickest way to say it, give me a ride, mate, and you like go on the horse. Something like that.
I
I can't
mean,
blame.
sure, but that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
I just know I want to have a conversation with tea and coffee.
Hmm.
Yeah, basically when at the
Talking
same
in the
time
street,
when
yeah.
the like first line of cavaliers is forming, there's all of you can see like there are like more horses coming from behind. There are like some people are like running on the horse, running on foot. Some people are going on by horses. They are trying to maintain unit cohesion so it won't look like typical Zergrash. But you can see that morale is pretty high. There are like shouting
Yeah.
battle cries and
Sure.
so on.
If I give a inspire courage, would the soldiers also be involved?
Rule of cool, man, of course. Like
Yeah.
to add the beauty to the picture while the soldiers are like preparing for the all-out assault, you can hear the beautiful bard song going out through the air.
Right. Basically, I'm trying to give a motivational speech.
Go with it.
And as I ride back and forth towards looking at the cavalry and say, "Man, we thank you for coming to us this day. Oh, our enemy stands before us, and they are weak and tired. They are few in numbers. But even so, we should not underestimate them. We should
Because they're
give them
fucking hell giants.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Think
when the Genkiro is running from like on the back lines to the people who are just arriving at the battlefield, at the same time the fun begins. Like other cavaliers like look at you, Otiros, they just like nod their heads, they point their lances, and I'm assuming at the same time you are
Yeah.
rushing forward.
as I gave an inspiring courage as a speech.
Yeah, like some people are saying for Pinewood, for Sidonia, charge, and they like run straight towards the huge giants.
Mm.
Like the orcs are fucking like cannon fodder. They do not care at all.
Mm.
Most from this group that were coming at you, they will probably be flattened in the first run. Yeah, because okay, so when I said that there's like we're going full roll of cool, there will be no like rolls to hit, rolls for damage. There is no battle, and I wanna hear from each and every one of you how you like did on this battle. What was your contribution, and in what awesome way you.
Essentially, I charge into the middle of the battle, leading the charge to
Right.
like fighting the biggest and baddest of the hill giants for the sake of it.
As he's like
Alright.
charging and has hit the first hill giant, I jump off and teleport up to his neck and stick both of my weapons in his head, and then jump towards the next hill giant and cut off a head.
You're going
Mm.
full Shingeki no Kyojin style, and you
Pretty
don't
much.
even need the fucking 3D maneuver gear. What the fuck?
It's fine.
Yeah. Mm.
I'm just jumping from giant to giant, slicing and hacking at their limbs.
Mm.
Right. Basically, Gengarus also joining the cavalry charge, and with his +1 keen rapier, he's going to focus on the orc cannon fodder instead of the hill giants, and try to give a small, quick pierce, and then pull back and head for the next orc. So basically, he's just
Yeah, I know. What you do. You're
mo-
doing basically
yeah.
like dance of the blade, like you are like dancer on the battlefield, deadly like a flower or something like that.
yeah.
I mean,
Basically-
wait.
Basically, I'm becoming like a Dynasty Warrior character with a rapier.
Yeah, I completely imagine it. Okay, so Otiros is charging, Genkiro is doing that, Martin is doing that, and yeah, Niltane.
Hmm.
I figured it was just faster to type it.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So one sec. As I'm like cutting down maybe the third hill giant, I run into the place that has the most amount of mooks. I just jump off the shoulder of the hill giant as he falls down, and for me, time at one point slows down, and he extends both his hands with his weapons to his side, and
You're doing
he
fucking
just
blade tornado?
no, well, pretty much,
Yeah.
but it's a skill I actually have.
Yeah, okay. Roll
I'm
with it.
using the where is it? Dang it.
Yeah, name is not that important.
Yeah,
like,
name
just
is not that important.
Tell
But
what
I'm
awesome
just
way you do.
like time seems to slow down, and I just rush forward a small amount of just a small amount of feet away, about 30 feet away, and I kind of look around. I stand back. I crack my neck, and all the orcs in my way just pretty much get destroyed. They get cut into little pieces.
Yeah, immediately there's blood everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
there were orcs, there is no orcs, there is fountain of blood.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
So, whilst this is going on, Genkiros is going to ride around and look for hill giants and then cast grease under their feet.
Yeah. So basically, let's just say that the group that was coming to you, they got like destroyed in what, 10, 15 seconds?
Pretty much.
Something like that. So now, because probably like half of the, because like while you were doing this, you can see that the one of the parts of the wall got breached, and like 4 or 5 remaining hill giants went inside, and the rest of them with around like, I don't know, maybe there's like 30 or 40 orcs left. They try to form and like counterattack you. So yeah, there's. Oh no. Okay. So
I tried to
Go ahead.
trample them, charging in with the horse, trying to override them and like just trample them so that they can't build up a remaining defense and charging towards the city.
Yeah,
Seeing as
I
I
join.
Yeah, same here. But seeing as I'm the one who can pretty much leap from place to place, I make a very long jump up the wall, and then make a jump towards the first hill giant I see and start slashing down on him.
okay, so that's what you do.
Yeah.
If you, Otiros, like if you're trying to charge through the enemy through the breach
Yeah.
of the wall, or because there is still someone on the gate, so if you see that you are trying to charge, they might open the gate for you.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because I'm gonna say that because these cavaliers with you, they are still with you, but if you try to charge through all this enemy and into the city, you might not get hurt, but there will be casualties from, like, maybe not exactly yours, but you know, your allies from the cavalry. So if you go more dangerous way, there will be casualties.
So the other way is we let the hill giants rampage through the city, and
No,
there
the
will
other
be-
way is like it might take like minute or 2 more, but you can wait. You can make a perception check to see if someone is still on the gate that is near you and can let you in.
Let me check. Okay.
This you will be low because even with this battle and battle chaos and so on, you might still see them.
Okay.
How many of the cavalry is around me?
I'm blind.
So yeah, you have no idea if someone is occupying the, like, if someone is there to be able to open the gates for you, because the gates for now are closed.
Okay.
I could technically do that as
I
I.
could do that.
Okay, wait for a second, not at all. Genkiro wanted to ask
Oh yeah,
something.
right. Sorry.
Yeah. Are there any cavalrymen besides me or near to me?
All
Aren't
the
we
like
in the middle of that?
all the main cavaliers that are like, there is a main cavalry squad, like all of them are like going with the Otiros because they saw that he knows his shit.
Yeah. Alright, and should we head for the small opening surrounded by orcs, or do we search for another way in? I ask Otiros.
We should probably get into the city and stop as many civilian casualties as possible. Or
Right.
I might see.
Can I, Mateus, would you,
Yeah?
DM, would you allow me to see that the cavalry is pretty much at this point waiting to get inside? Or do I have to make a check for that? I'm more than willing to do so.
Because we've all.
I am standing inside the city, murdering hill giants as best as I can.
Well, let's just say you might do a perception check, but it might have slightly higher difficulty.
It's fine.
Because you are in the battlefield, you're focusing on killing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point I'm on the shoulder of a hill giant who has just entered the town and I'm cutting away at him, so I might not see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not enough.
That's not high enough, yeah. That's what I thought. So I'm just jumping from hill giant to hill giant, wounding them / killing them as much as I can.
I just that's off topic, but I just thought that it would be way more awesome if we were playing in medieval Poland and that cavalry were like winged hussars, because those guys were fucking they were destroying on the field. Okay, so Jai is cutting giants Shingeki no Kyojin style inside the city, but even if you are cutting them you can only take one at a time, so you can see that the rest of the giants at this time there are 2 of them alive, so they just starting swinging their great clubs, slamming on the houses, and because people are trying to run from them, but
they're not fast enough.
Even with your great deeds and you really are doing your best.
But it's one man versus 5.
You already see you're doing enough, but you already see that there are some casualties, bodies on the streets. So for now, okay, so Jai is inside the city. Genkiro Otiros are trying to get inside, and
weren't there a breach in the city where the giants came through?
If you're going through the breachway, because as I said, when I will repeat it. When some of the giants went inside, but the rest of them, which was also converted near the breach, they trying to form some sort of defensive circle or something like that. So yeah, if you're trying to basically to get inside the city, you need to plow through the main force of the enemy. Are you doing that?
Well, yes. I charge for the mainstream.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fight as much as to force my
I know. You are just charging through.
Trampling my way.
This is what cavalry do. Charge right in full force.
Yep. I will just roll publicly how many casualties they might be.
7.
Yeah, that charge costs 7 from the cavaliers. Although there are still plenty. Yeah, but you maybe saw on the you or Genkiro saw on the spec of you the giant managed to the giant that I managed to punch swing their legs up and take out the cavaliers from their horses and so on. But yeah,
if I see that happen, I'm going to cast a grease spell below one giant's feet and a glitter dust at another giant's face.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say that these spells maybe saved lives or a few more cavaliers, but the 7 casualties are still there. But you managed to prevent more of those.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just wait for a moment. You managed to get inside. Where is Niltain?
Well, presumably I follow them, because it sounds like my wall is not needed, so...
Okay. So, the situation is like this. You all managed to punch through the enemy lines to the city. And at this point, the moment when you managed to get inside, you and several your allies, mostly cavalry, because they had the punch to do it, and then the rest of the infantry stayed outside, and they're forming squads outside, and they will be attacking the giants and orcs from the other side. And I'm assuming at this moment there's maybe yeah, 1 or 2 hill giants left, and you can see like Jai jumping around, cutting everything, and yeah, decide what you wanna do, because the force that went inside is almost dead, but there is a still breach inside the wall.
So what you would see is at one point, Jai is slamming his weapon into the neck of about the third of the 5 leftover hill giants, and he tries to pretty much jump towards the next one, but because he's so tired, he slams into the house in front of that hill giant and just falls to the ground, and kind of sits up on one knee and looks up at the hill giant and thinks about what he could do next.
So I presume this is about the time when I come charging through the breach with the rest of the cavalry?
Yeah.
That's your cue, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I suppose I just charge at the hill giant's leg and tries to unbalance it by charging straight at it instead of foregoing just charging by and taking damage.
Yeah, I can even say that you do more than unbalancing. Basically, your charge like slices his leg off,
Pretty much.
and there is like blood gushing everywhere.
Exactly. So is this pretty much it? We sweep up the rest of the hill giants now, or
Well, with that, the hill giants, like the enemy inside the city that managed to go through the bridge, is now gone, but there is still quite a nice amount of enemy outside the walls. But they are not sure. Like at this moment, there is like a second or 2 of indecision. Like they don't know if they wanna go inside and face with you, or they wanna wait outside and face with the rest of the allied forces that came like from this road.
As Otiros basically pretty much saves my life and rips off the leg of the hill giant, he's riding past me, I say, "I'll take care of those outside!" Then
Okay.
start bolting towards the breach.
Okay, so that is.
So I
what you're
suppose
doing.
I'll be busy for a while, cleaning up the last hill giant, 2 hill giants there while he charges out.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no enemy nor hill giants left inside the city walls.
What
There
I meant
isn't?
was,
So I guess the others killed the one that was left over, because there were I
Okay,
killed
because
3 inside.
I didn't understand if Otiros meant to like he's like with his squad like turning around and charging from the bridge.
what I meant was I came in while there were like 3 hill giants left, destroyed one, and then I took a while to clean up the 2 other ones who had
Yeah.
got further into the city, while he left and tried to finish the rest of outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was of our side, or at least.
Okay, so that's Giant, that's Otiros. Niltain.
Hello.
In this moment, there is like no hill giants inside the city, but there is like I think 4 or 5 of them outside, and like 30 orcs still alive.
So I suppose this is their cue to start running. How
By the way,
many?
Sorry, Katin, just one quick question. No one of you speaks giants, but does anyone of you speaks Orcish?
Yes.
I do.
Me.
Okay, so those who speak Orcish, you hear like not the chanting, but something of a war cry, and they basically through the like chaos and some like you might hear that there is screaming something like the beloved son of Vakzan the Furious will be revenge will be
Avenged.
they will be avenged, something like that. Yeah, please continue. Sorry for cutting in.
No, nothing. So, is there anything left then to clean them all up, or is anybody gonna offer them the chance to surrender?
If I rush out, I'm just gonna cut them down.
I suppose so.
As you look like at the battlefield, there's no white flags, and you don't see like neither side is willing to, you know,
Given.
Hmm. Suppose-
the hill giants and orcs are not willing to surrender, and the like your allies from Pinewood and so on are not willing to take prisoners. They don't look like it.
So I suppose this is the end of them. Hmm.
Yeah, it's your chance to describe in you're Psionic, you can use your powers and describe how you like do on the battlefield.
Well, I'd say it's pretty much over. Our army has pretty much cut off everything. There's just a small group of resistance over. So I suppose it's just
Well,
Uh,
I mean, technically, there's still 4 hill giants out and a fairly small army outside. Like, there's still a decent-sized army outside.
yeah. I suppose it's your job to clean them up then. And
As I pass you, I say, "Great, let me handle everything."
yes,
And I
I'll
rush
go
in.
in.
counting on you. Genkiro and GI. Oh, I keep on forgetting who is who.
Jai.
What are you doing?
Jai is running past you and says, "Great, let me
Yeah.
handle everything."
And
And
Jordan.
rushing in to kill the rest.
Mm.
He's
All
covered
right.
in blood and he looks slightly wounded, though.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Are the other cavalry men following us, or
They're pretty much manning up for the last charge.
Yeah,
Mm.
they're like, you know, one cavalry sweep will probably decimate the entire orc force, and the hill giants will be either killed by the allies who like they are like now setting up like, you know, the archery volleys, the arrow volleys, and yeah, and of course you still have Jai who's like jumping around slicing everything.
Yes.
I'll come for moral support. I'll cheer.
Well, I'm assuming that during this whole battle you are still singing and so on, that, you know, it keeps the morale up.
I pierce one orc with my rapier. No mercy! Stuck! No prisoners! Stuck!
Okay.
Fight!
So I think that you don't know you as in universe, your characters don't know exactly how much time passed, but it wasn't that long battle. It may be like, you know, the last survivors, like strugglers, were taken out after like, you know, the whole battle took like 5-10 minutes, and then like immediately after that, some people stayed, like you saw that they immediately started like tending to the city, like some were looking at the wall bridge, some were helping cleaning up the bodies, because of course there are some casualties. Other like squads are trying to like reform themselves, and they are preparing to march out, and like through all these people going around, you even managed to see the glimpse of the Robert Augustus face, that he's like giving orders, and he looks like he's wanting to move as quickly as possible to Fort Darkwell.
So I suppose we move with the army.
I think we do.
Sorry, I had to like do.
In the
one thing.
meantime, I am found in the middle of a shit ton of orcs that are just dead, sitting on one knee, leaning on my weapon, and barely having enough strength to stand up. I just kind of stand up and I wobble towards the army.
I suppose I'll just come around and pick you up then. Having
Alright,
cleaned
Cad.
up, you know.
Cats. It would be helpful.
Right, Genkaro's casting a Cure Light Wounds on you, and suddenly you feel much more invigorated than before.
I nod at Genkiro. And I say, well, jumping takes a lot out of me, but that helps. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
No, I think I gotta fuck with my time a bit. And then he stops, takes a deep breath, and you see the wounds on his body just slowly starting to close.
Cool.
Hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, just like to clarify things, of course, like there's too much going on, so the Robert might have hard time seeing you, so he just like fully occupied by like managing soldiers and so on, like he's preparing squads to move out. And of course no one is asking you to like continue with them, like no one is like telling you yes go with us and so on. So it's your choice.
As we're like walking, or as we're going around, I say, I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna stay in Martin for now. Just try to find out. It just help the wounded here.
Do you even have any heal skills?
I have a plus 14 in heal skill, so I can at least stabilize. But this is more out of game because I have to go in 5 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's
Where-
cool, like yeah.
Very well.
So does the
You
rest
tend
of
to the
you
wounded, and we'll help reclaim Fort Darkwell.
sure.
Jai nods and says, "You sure you'll make it without me?"
Sure.
Hey, more kills for us.
Yeah, I'm also guessing that Otiros might be, maybe not entirely, but he has some parts of his body are covered in blood.
Yeah. Alright, just
Nonsense. A cavalier is never hurt.
I, on the
Just
other
make
hand,
sure
have
you-
been bathing in hill giant blood, so I am covered in this stuff.
Right. Just make sure you join up with us later. And Genkiru's holding up a close fist, signaling he wants a fist bump.
I go for the fist bump and say, well, I think I'll meet you back in Pinewood then. I might actually make a stop at Fort Tyre, see if they need my help.
Right.
Okay. So okay, if you're doing the Jaito, so I say that I won't like do more for your character. If you are going, then thank you very much for playing. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes,
See
I
ya.
did.
And I will see you next week. And to be
Yep.
completely honest, we do not have much more to like do. So yeah,
Cool.
you left Jai at Marton so that he may rest for a while.
Yep.
And in like 5 more minutes, you move out with whole force to Fort Darkwell. And interestingly enough, you do not meet any kind of resistance or any more hill giants on the way. And you can pretty much imagine that Fort Darkwell is in pretty rough shape.
We don't see any orcs or hill giants in Fort Darkwell.
You don't see hill giants, but there were some orc, not grave diggers, but you know, people who come after
Yeah,
battle
looters.
to loot the bodies.
Hmm.
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
there were some of them, and you can imagine what like people from Pinewood and so on they did with them. Because of course, even if they started to run, the cavalry managed to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one thing. Second thing, even though the Fort Darkwell is in a rough shape, you think that it might be rebuilded, and it still can be like good place to defend. And the third thing is, you see and know from the number of the bodies that these guys fought first of all to the last man and they really made
Gave
a
a
stand.
fight.
Because you know there's fortifications like palisades, and you can see there's like 15 maybe 20 hill giant bodies and around 50 orc bodies.
They held the line.
So they really they really held out for quite some time. And yeah, I will have a question for first of all for you. If you are you looking for a particular like person inside the fort?
Yeah, first off, we should probably look for the commander. Or the commanding officer. to see if he's still alive or at least somewhat alive.
Okay, so the good news is the body of the commander is nowhere to be seen, so there is a chance that he might have survived. The bad news is after like few more minutes, when not only you but other people started to like search the area, maybe hope that there is a one or two survivors from the onslaught, they actually managed to get one. And guess what, Genkiro, who is it? It's one of these 3 tags, because only one of them survived, sadly. Who was it?
Hey, it was Trip.
And you can see that he's in really bad shape. Like, he's like blood everywhere, he's missing his left leg.
Oh shit.
Like, they are trying to tend to his wounds, but he will need something like more if he's gonna survive.
Yeah, Gengar jumps off his horse and runs up to him and starts casting Cure Light Wounds on him. Best he can.
Okay, so of course that would not regrow his leg, but it will cauterize the wound and stop the bleeding and so on. So yeah, he might. Of course, he still needs like more care or like better healing or something like cure serious wounds, for example. But yeah, for now that will do, and he just gives a long sigh, like he's extremely tired of life. But seeing you, he's just hesitant for a moment, but he just gives you a small smile and says, "Thank you."
I'm sorry we couldn't come here in time.
Time, yes, time. And he, with the last of his strength, he's trying to grab you by your shirt, and he's just trying to like say something that
I always loved you.
no time. And he says like they took the commander. There's still time to save him.
Right. Where?
To the east, where they came from. And with that, I mean, maybe he passes out. Even with the healing, he's like went through a lot.
Yeah, Gengar takes his hand that probably fell to the side and puts it on his chest and says, "Take good care of him," or to whoever found him.
Yeah, there will be someone to like take care of him and make sure he will survive. Also, like, okay, first of all, question to Otiros and Niltain. It's your decision if you were with Genkiro when he heard that, because you could hear this guy saying this if you are like nearby, if you wanna.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, and also Robert Augustus like was conveniently near the area, and he also heard that. And you didn't know that Genkiro, that he could like the amount of obscenities and like fucking shit and so on.
Right.
Like he screams like fuck. Like, he's like screaming obscenities. You did not know how like that this guy could do it, because he's like the angriest you've ever seen him.
Oh, you little peep. Basically, he's having at least 40 censorships.
Yeah, because he is angry that someone dared to attack this fort, kill this man, and even more take his brother. And after like the first outburst, he's just making a grim and determined look on his face. He's looking at his soldiers and at you.
Niltain is going to sleep.
Yeah, that will be the ending. And he's looking at you. I don't know if you wanna help you or not, but I'm gonna get my brother. And we can end at this moment.
Okay,
and
so-
I wanted to give a rousing speech to get some volunteers.
So is
I
it.
think we can do it at the start of the next session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So-
thank you very much for playing. I hope you had a good time. Sorry for the mistakes I made or the stuttering and so on and so on. But I hope that
It's hardly a problem.
you
A
would
good session.
Alright.
you will want to play next week.
Of
Mhm.
course. Next time on the Eternal Wonders